Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
A bit more Brexit now. The issue of sales of Prosecco was exercising Boris Johnson when he met the Italian economy minister. Our foreign secretary opined that Italy would want to grant Britain access to the EU because Italy wouldn't want to lose out on sales of the fizz, which we apparently drink in prodigious amounts. Mr Calenda, the economy minister, shot back that the UK would sell fewer fish and chips. I'll sell less Prosecco to one country, you'll sell less fish and chips to 27 countries. The serious side to this is what we're relying on countries to engage with the Foreign Secretary to ensure Brexit goes smoothly. We know that the Chancellor and the Prime Minister seem to take great delight in ripping Boris Johnson, but how's he seen abroad? Earlier this evening, I spoke to Mr Johnson's Italian counterpart, Paolo Gentiloni, about the future of Europe, populism, and how seriously he took our Foreign Secretary. I started by asking him if he'd had confidence in Britain's Brexit negotiation team.
Well, as far as I know, there is different roles in the UK government. We are now in a waiting position. I'm sorry about that, but this is the only thing that we can do in EU.
And yet there may be no formal negotiations, but we know that the Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson had a conversation with your colleague, the Economy Minister, and Boris Johnson said Italy would grant Britain access to the EU single market because you don't want to lose your Prosecco imports. He's right, isn't he?
Well, Boris was a little bit also joking on the subject, but the issue is, do UK wants to remain in the single market? It is rather strange that if you want to remain in the single market, you vote for leave in the referendum. But if UK wants to remain in the single market, we are happy. Obviously, the single market has rules. Unfortunately, there is no cherry picking.
Let's look at Italian politics just now, because you're having a referendum on the constitution, and your government is one of the few centre-left governments in the EU. And Prime Minister Renzi, it seems, is trying to tap into the anti-politics that's going around just now. Donald Trump talked about draining the swamp. Renzi says, I'm not going to remain in the swamp. Why is Prime Minister Renzi looking to Donald Trump for direction and inspiration?
Well, I assure you that he is not looking to Donald Trump as an inspiration.
But they use the same language.
No, obviously not. Absolutely not. If you mean that Prime Minister Renzi, having language and values completely different and common to the European centre-left, has also a special characteristic to be a young and anti-establishment leader, yes, you are right.
And yet that would be exactly what the populist movements are saying, is that they're the ones that are anti-establishment. You've got your own five-star movement. There's populism in Hungary, in France, in Sweden, in Austria.
For sure we have anti-EU and populist movement, as we all have in Europe. I am rather confident that these populist movement in Italy will not be considered movement capable to offer an alternative as a government. This is, I think, the specific strength of our position. We are a government force, pro-Europe, very serious in its reform and in its position, but also understanding what our public opinion wants to be changed in the establishment, in the globalization, in Europe. If the center-left is not aware of the changements that are necessary in the globalization and in the establishment, I think that they risk, the center-left risk to lose their power everywhere.
Do you fear for the future of Europe?
Yes, because I think that if Europe is not able to give answer, especially to two main subjects, one is economic growth and the other one is migration. These two issues are so urgent that if there is no European answer, I think that Europe is seriously risking. But we have now also a chance after Brexit. Brexit was also a wake-up call for Europe.
But finally, first the UK, who will be next to want out?
I think that UK is already sufficient. It's a very important country, and I don't think we will have someone next. At least I hope, and for sure it will not be Italy.
Paolo Gentiloni, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.